Dad, my son's voice was shaking. They won't let us off the bus. I was at work when he first called, and I let it ring, figuring he wanted a ride home. Then every phone in the office went off at once. Flash flood warning. Move to higher ground. My chest tightened. I stood up and called him back, already walking. He answered on the first ring. Dad, where are you? On the bus. We didn't make it home. I could hear kids shouting behind him. Someone crying. The water came up so fast, they won't open the doors. The road's underwater. I knew that route. Low ground. A creek that swelled every time it rained hard. Are you moving? No. The bus stopped. Something cold settled in my chest. Stay on the line with me, okay? Don't hang up. The water's starting to come in, Dad. I was already running to my truck. He told me where they were. The dip in the road by the river bridge. The spot that always flooded first. The one the news always showed. I kept him talking the whole drive. Is the driver okay? I asked. He hesitated. She stood up and slipped. She hit her head. There's blood. My hands tightened on the wheel. Rain smeared the windshield into a gray blur. Traffic crawled. You're doing great, I told him. I'm coming. Keep everyone calm. They're scared. So am I. But we're going to get you out. The call cut out a mile from the bridge, where police cars had already blocked the road and water was spilling over the edges like something alive. I pulled onto the shoulder and was out of the truck before I'd fully stopped it. Someone shouted at me to stay back. I didn't listen. My son was in there. The water hit my shoes first, then my knees, cold and strong, shoving against every step. I ran back to the truck bed and grabbed the heavy tow rope I kept there. I tied one end to the guardrail with shaking hands. The closer I got, the louder it roared. The bus sat sideways across the low spot, its back wheels lifted just enough to terrify me. I could see faces in the windows, pale, pressed to the glass, small hands slamming against it. I couldn't find my son. I yelled his name. The water swallowed it. I pushed forward until it reached my chest, wrapped the rope around my forearm, and leaned into the current. A surge hit me sideways, and my feet went out from under me. For one horrible second, everything was dark and loud and freezing, and all I could think of was my son watching through that window. I came up coughing, grabbed the rope, and hauled myself forward hand over hand until I reached the door and slammed my palm against it. Someone forced it open from inside. Water rushed in. Kids screamed. I'm here, I shouted. I've got a rope. Everybody listen. And then I saw him, near the front, crouched low, one arm around a smaller kid sobbing into his shoulder. His face was streaked with tears, but his eyes went steady the second they found mine. Dad. I tied the rope to the metal railing inside. I told everyone to stay in their seats. I pointed at an older boy and told him to press his hoodie against the driver's head to slow the bleeding. Sirens were closing in now. Firefighters appeared at the far end of the bridge and sent another rope snaking across the water. We knotted them together, fast and tight. One by one, we moved the kids off the bus, hand to hand along the rope, fighting the current for every step. The water clawed at them. The ropes held. My legs felt like they were full of wet sand, but I kept going back. My son was last. He stood in the doorway and looked down at the brown water tearing past. I can't, he said, his voice breaking. I grabbed him under the arms and pulled him against my chest. You can. I've got you. I am not letting go. We stepped down together. The current slammed into us and my feet slid, but hands caught us from the far side. Firefighters hauling us up onto solid ground. Behind us, the bus shifted, metal groaning, and everyone froze. Then it settled. They'd gotten every single kid off. The driver made it too. Nobody was left behind. Sitting on the back of an ambulance later, a blanket around both of us. My son leaned his head against my shoulder and said quietly, I knew you'd come. Every time, I told him, no matter what's in the way. I've thought a lot about that day since. Not about the water. About the look on his face when he saw me in that doorway. The fear turning to something steadier. Because his dad had shown up. That's the whole job. You show up and you don't let go.